Hello, good morning. You are watching QTV this morning. I am Ibrahim Abalde. It's good to be back here again to do the newspaper review and look at some of the stories making headlines. And on the platform, I am joined by Julde Jai. Julde, how are you?
I am fine, Ibrahim. How are you too?
Alhamdulillah.
Nice.
I'm having a good time.
Nice, I can see that.
Enjoying myself.
You sound like you're enjoying yourself.
Yeah.
Which is good, and I've said this. I mean, we don't physically have a cup of coffee, but I've always said that this show is like a cup of coffee for the viewers.
Absolutely.
And your perky demeanor actually.
Yeah.
Haven't you noticed that Balde is always excited at this time of the month? So you people should know.
Well, you know, it's important when you go in on television. Sometimes there are things that, you put them behind.
Of course.
And you come on the platform fresh and clean, because you're not doing it for yourself. You're doing it for people out there watching you. They don't care what you're going through, but all they want is give them what you are used to, what you usually give them.
This is true. In show business, they have this phrase which covers that, and the phrase is, the show must go on. So regardless of whatever you're dealing with and so on, when you step on the stage or you come on TV or you go on radio, they don't need to know.
No.
They don't need to know. You give them your best.
And not just that, let me add on to that, not just that the show needs to go on, but you as an individual, you need to go on. You should let go of whatever is bothering you, or all the problems, the atrocities, the calamities that the world is, offering you, and then, conquer. Be a conqueror. That is what I always say. Like, each day I wake up, I say, okay, Julde, you are a conqueror, go and conquer. Whatever happens yesterday stays in
The
yesterday.
conquering lion.
We will start calling her Julde the Conqueror.
Lioness. That's how it is.
That's it.
I was discussing with one of my family friend this morning as we were driving, coming from the house to work. He was on his way to Basse. He said to me, I was talking to him in the car, and he said to me, what will people think if I do this? I said to him, come on, forget about what people think.
Okay, you wanted to do something.
Yes, do the right thing. Do the thing that you think is good for you. Well, seek advice.
Yeah, sure.
Seek advice. Sometimes people can mentor you on certain things. But, I mean, do not have that feeling, what people think if I do this? What will people say? What will they be saying behind me? I said to him, look, for me, I don't care about that. No. What people say behind me, I mean, I don't care about it. I do the right thing.
I always have a phrase for that. Whenever somebody tells me that somebody said this nasty thing about you, I said, yeah, but do they feed me? Do they clothe me? No, they don't. I couldn't give a toss. I couldn't give a damn.
Seriously.
Yeah,
when you die, you die alone.
Yeah.
You go to your grave alone. Nobody accompany you.
You have to live with yourself,
I mean,
and your conscience.
You have to be yourself.
Yeah.
You know, Julde.
Just make sure that your conscience is clear.
Absolutely.
So if it is clear, I mean, don't mind whatever. If the whole world is throwing stones at you, don't really mind about that.
Exactly.
So long as no.
It reminds me of a verse that Allah said in the Quran. He said, even if the whole world is against you, if I am not against you, you will succeed.
Yeah.
Even if the whole world gather to give you success, if I don't give you success, you will fail. My friend, come on. Yeah, so on the program, we'll be doing the newspaper review. And Mr. Ade will be reviewing the newspaper. Mr. Ade, we apologize for keeping you here always. I mean, to review the newspaper with us, despite your busy schedule.
I've already redrafted my contract so that you guys, they have to pay me double now because of what I'm doing there and what I'm doing here. Because I seem to be on every day.
No, we are going to advocate.
And that was not in my
That was not part of
it was not in my contract.
Come on, it was not part of his contract, my friend. So we'll be talking to Daniel Arap Moy, CGT and Africa reporter. He will be on the program. We'll be talking about the China-Africa Cooperation on the Belt and Road Initiative. As you know, the past couple of years, China contributed a lot in Africa, and they're still doing a lot.
Gosh, more than a couple of years.
Exactly. So the relationship, it's cemented, and it's getting strong every day, despite the ups and downs and the certain issues that we face globally, but still they are able to go out with all efforts to help.
And I'll give a very quick example before we go in, because I won't be here for that discussion. But the BBC were discussing China's Belt and Road Initiative because of the forum that's ongoing. And somebody said something. He said, if you want a lecture, go to Washington or London. if you want a bridge or a road built, go to Beijing. And I think that sums it up beautifully.
Yeah, that's true.
The West, very good at lecturing the whole world. They're not so good at building stuff here. Even the ones who were former colonizers, once they've left, almost that's it. But like I said, so if you want to lecture, go to Washington, go to London.
No, when it comes to manufacturing, when it comes to building, when it comes to doing infrastructure, I think we will leave that to China.
They are leading in that.
There
is no doubt about that.
I mean, in terms of our international cooperation with countries, African countries and other countries, I think China miles ahead of anyone else when it comes to sort of infrastructure projects across the whole of Africa. So yeah, without a doubt.
Absolutely. So we will also be looking at World White Cane Day. I mean, it's commemorated this
on the 17th of
September. And it's important for us to sensitize and talk to the people about it, because most people don't know the significance of that,
of the white cane,
of that cane.
So it's people who are blind or visually impaired. You'll see them walking around with the white cane, and you need to know why are they doing it, and we have a part to play as well when we see somebody who has that. So yes.
So we'll be talking to Anis Fall and Amadou Jallo on the program. Julde, our proverbs last week from the Gambia.
They were all from the Gambia.
Now Gambia is playing Senegal, the AFCON. So now let's see. let's start the game right here.
Let's see which one is
last
more
week
exciting.
From Gambia, this week from Senegal.
Okay.
Yes, Julde, take us
so our African proverb reads, "The opportunity that God sends does not wake him up who is asleep." The opportunity that God sends does not wake up him who is asleep. That is the Senegalese proverb.
It must be a Senegalese
because I don't even understand.
Seriously, I looked at it severally.
Senegalese direct translation.
I was like, really, like him who.
But I think if I can, no, I don't think it's a typo. I think if I can try, for me, I think if you take it in the literal sense, is that you have to believe and you have to pray, and then if you pray, Allah will send you, like you were mentioning earlier in a slightly different context. But he who is asleep, who is not willing or ready or aware, those opportunities will not come to you. So for me, but I confess it is a difficult one to interpret, but that's my sort of interpretation, that if you are a believer, if you pray, then things will come to you. Yeah. So
Julie.
So
what did you make of it?
See, he didn't want to go next.
Seriously, yeah.
I want to listen to Julie. Julie and Mr. Ade, so that I can connect myself there.
Yes. There is a proverb that says, make hay whilst the sun shines.
Yeah.
Do the right things at the right time. And I think this one kind of connects to that proverb. Doing things at the right time, waking up early every day, and then doing the needful. Pray as much as possible. Seek God guidance, and then do your best. I know sometimes it's difficult, like we say, okay, what God ordains will always happen. But sometimes we also hear that from the scriptures that destiny can be changed really by prayer, by hard work, and all of that.
If you have your cows, don't say that I'm not going to tie my cow because
seriously,
you need to, because the cow's nature is to wander off.
So if you don't take care of the cows, they will definitely go. So you need to be cautious in whatever you do. You need to be prayerful. You need to be hardworking. Don't just sit there and say, okay, I will have this because I have this education, or I have my master's, I have my bachelor, so I'm bound to have a very good job. So, and you will not work towards that. So I think, in as much as it is ordained that you're going to have A, B, and C, where like in our society, when you're even young, they will look at you and say that I think you will become this person. I think like they will tend to predict your future.
People always
try that.
Everybody got it wrong with me, but
seriously,
I'm sure they do. Get it
with
wrong with
most people. But so that should not really
But that's
stop
a good
you.
interpretation. And you, Mr. Balde?
Yeah, it's telling
Mr.
you
Weltare.
to be up on your game. To be prepared, to always push it. You know, it's telling you opportunities comes to those who go in for them.
Prepare for
them.
Yeah.
I mean, my grandfather will tell me, if you don't wake up in the morning, opportunities will come to your door and knock. If you are asleep, they will go
to someone else's door.
Sometimes opportunity
so
knocks but once.
These things makes me feel guilty when I was a kid. I was like, wow, if I sleep, the opportunity
will knock and I won't be there.
Although I woke up a lot of times, there is no opportunity.
You didn't catch opportunity.
So I think I agree with you.
Yeah. But it's an interesting one, and I like these ones that make us strain our brain, make us think a bit, because it's not simple, it's not straightforward, and that's good. So yeah, I enjoyed these.
Yeah. All right. We'll take a short break. After the break, then the program continues. We'll look at some of the stories, although we
beyond our borders.
Absolutely.
Because there are big things happening across the world. Yes.
Yeah, so we'll be right back.
The art of juggling is a true spectacle of agility, coordination, and speed. A symbol of progression, precision, and mastery. 5G speed is like having the juggler in your pocket. With lightning-fast download and upload speeds, you'll easily be able to juggle even the busiest workdays. Whether you're a busy entrepreneur, a creative, or just someone who wants to stay connected, juggle your tasks with ease with QCell 5G speed. The future is here. It's fast, reliable, and efficient. First brought to you by QCell. We innovate, others follow.
QCell mooy suñu boss. QCell mooy suñu boss. QCell mooy suñu boss. Go, ebe dawa full network suda tili QCell. Ni lafta diamla wati jamala mune diata QCell. Most reliable network dumala keta wati QCell. Wo quality man nyon soda jam ona manke QCell. Hanibe wulo ni farole kono walante be bako na jala fayola network ko se taria QCell suñu boss. Ñu fi njëkk indi 3G ñu delu taxi 4G plus and now we bring you 5G. 5G. First and only 5G provider. Tell her follow Adi Doron Nessa Keno. Gambia Bela Nyon Tower Fele QCell. Ko Fasun Tower Buka Busi QCell. Tell them multi milka kukutol Nati Gambia QCell made a lori la Kiliano Yele Imanina Amanda Wala Itella quality dealer Daddy Ma Itelle Silo Wala Wodol Mume Be Kenoma. QCell Sunibus QCell Sunibus QCell Sunibus QCell Sunibus. One next solo be Bambandi QCell Sunibus. QCell most innovative QCell Sunibus.
We are back, and this is QTV This Morning, and to our viewers in Madrid, Spain.
Madrid, Spain, in the Philippines, in the United Kingdom,
Italy,
Sierra Leone,
Ghana.
Yeah, the ones I know who are watching it, the ones that I've called. So yeah.
And even Egypt.
Yeah, we have so many people that
texted
follow
me
the program.
Good, and long may that continue.
In many countries from around the world. Mr. Ade, let's talk about the guy at the commission. I mean, he's been there for so long.
Finance director of
Basse.
A lot of issues have been looked into, and there are questions that, to answer them, he's even reluctant to go through some of their findings. I mean, I
wouldn't say he's reluctant. I mean, the guy is the finance director of Basse Council, and he has been given evidence now for this is his second week. It might even be his third week. And what has been revealed, I think, has shocked everybody. I think the only people not shocked by it will be those who were in the know and who were benefiting from it. But in short, what we have seen is a litany, a list of inappropriate behavior at the highest level of the council. They have rules, and I've said that, we've all said this many times about the Gambia. We're very good at passing laws and legislation, but does anybody follow them? Almost nobody does. And so there are rules. There's a guidebook. There's a rule book about if you want to spend a certain amount or more, you have to get approval from this, that. Certain types of approval need the signature of the finance director and the CEO. In many instances, based on the evidence that we've heard from this chap, he has just been the only person who has signed, and many times he has been a beneficiary of those payments. Those payments have gone to him directly to his bank account. The evidence has been truly shocking, and he's not even finished yet. They've got pages and pages still to go through with him, and you know, he's one of two people that I have heard one of the commissioners saying, "You're a liar. You're lying to us." I mean, they've been as blunt as that. They haven't kind of tried to dress it up in any way. And honestly, if people haven't seen it, go back and look, because the evidence, I mean, we broadcast it live. So, you know, I'm urging people to look at it, because this is one council. I think if they watch it, they will be truly shocked at what they're hearing. I certainly have.
My problem is, I mean, embezzling public fund like that.
Sure.
People are paying their dues in places like URR, and
you're paying your rates, you're paying your taxes.
The market woman who pays $25 is every day, and these monies are collected and sent to the council. But at the end of the time, this woman doesn't even know someone is using my money. I mean, to enrich
their own
and for me, like
himself.
the shocking part is, and the most painful part is, that these women and these vendors really struggle so hard day and night to ensure that they pay their dues to the council. Some of them can even barely feed themselves, but they're still trying
they
so
will
hard
still
to
pay their dues.
Yeah, and you know, only for one person to be benefiting from that.
But not
really,
just one. When you listen to it, several people are benefiting from it. You know, they're giving per diems for themselves. Even where it says the per diem should be 500, they're giving themselves 1,500, and they said, why? And he said it was at my discretion and the discretion. I said, but the rules don't give you that discretion, that you can pay yourself 3 times what the rules say you should be paid. So, you know, there's a lot of that, and it's been
it's sad. And I think he's under suspension.
There was a press release which I saw saying
suspension,
that
and Bilkama Area Council as well.
And again, you know, one of the commissioners said to him, one of the council on the commission said to him, you should never be allowed to hold public office in this country again.
Trust me, most of them should not be like allowed to hold public office.
So it will be interesting to see what happens at the end of his evidence that he's giving, whether he is going to be charged. I suspect, based on what we've heard, there's a strong likelihood that he will be.
Yeah, and I think Balde and I have a responsibility. This is Basse we are talking about. I think we should go back and fix
Balde
that
keeps
area.
telling everybody he's from Basse, but we know he's from Banjul, really. But,
well, I mean, fixing it is one thing, but I mean, giving you the environment to fix it, it's another thing. Because we know there is a lot of corruption going on right now. We all understand that. Where I am eating, I won't allow another person to enter there and create chaos for me. So I'll do all means to eject that person.
Yeah, I mean, we've also seen 3 senior health officials have been indicted for global fund money that has been allegedly misappropriated. I say allegedly because the trials have not started yet, so one doesn't want to prejudge. But again, the evidence that's been presented has been quite shocking. So this is another one. So once you've dealt with the councils, I suspect the next thing you'll go into the ministries, and you'll start doing commissions of inquiry into the ministries, and we'll see where that leads. But there seem to be steps showing us that we are trying to tackle corruption rather than just talk about tackling corruption.
GID intercepts 8 intending migrants.
Yes, we covered that story. Our colleague Loli M. Kamara went there. This was at Tangier. Every week there are people trying to, and we saw their preparations. They had rice, they had oil, they were going to cook on the boat whilst they were out there. They'd paid as much as 40,000 each, but they can only hold them for so long. The people who were stopped, and some of them, they're going to get family members who will send them the money, and they'll try again in a week or two, or maybe even in a few days' time. It's never going to end.
So now we have a lot of points where people can embark
because
on
of
the bagway.
because of the nature of
I saw the immigration
coastline.
guy yesterday. I was talking to him. I said to him, look, he said to me, look, we want to go and intercept a boat that is about to leave for Bagway.
Yeah, Canary Islands.
I said, okay, now, is that the point where, they all convoy and leave?
It's one of
He said to me, no, we have different points.
There are so many.
People, they have different
They
points.
just like the criminals, they're also really sophisticated in the way, ahead of the police officers and the immigration officials.
Sure.
So this issue really, I think it's gonna be a difficult one because the last interception I was there, I covered it. But when I was when I asked something, I'm going to embark on another journey.
I don't
So
know.
it's really
Look, I've said this many times. There was an incident where 61 people drowned. And amongst the 5 who were rescued, our colleague Troy brought them to our studios. And after he'd finished interviewing them, I just said just casually, I said, well, I hope this has been a lesson that you have survived this and, you won't consider it again. And the eldest amongst them said, no, there's a boat going next week and we hope to be on it. You've just been pulled from the water, saved from drowning. And you're telling me there's a boat. I couldn't even get my head around that.
I think we need to,
I'll never forget it. December 2019.
Go to the root of this thing. What is leading these youths to embark on
I think it's really
Bagway?
obvious.
Despite all the aids that we have, despite all the youth empowerment projects in Africa.
Well, if you watched the story yesterday, one of the immigration officials said, here we know because it's in the Gambia. He said, but this is, and you can see the figures, it's increasing across the whole of the West African sub-region. And situations are not the same in all of those countries. And yet there has now become this obsession that I don't care, you send me $10,000, I'm not going to use it to start a business. I'm going to use it to try and get to Europe. So I can go and clean toilets because I don't have any skills. One guy said he wants to be a soldier in Spain. How can you be a soldier in Spain when you don't have any qualifications, you don't speak the language? And when Lolly spoke to him, he said, what? Go to Spain to be a soldier there? What kind of rubbish is that? There's this kind of obsession, I just need to go, and then when I get there, I'll think of something. Because you go there with no language skills, no skills of any sort, what are you going to be employed doing?
Mr. Ade, let's put ourselves in their shoes. It's important sometimes as to why they are leaving. There are many things that are leading to the youths embarking on Bagway. And we talked about the commission corruption scandal. We've seen people talking about embezzling public funds. We've seen that. The reason why these people are not getting the things that they are supposed to get.
I'm sorry, I'm not having that. I'm not having that.
No, even if, listen, they talked about...
The reason I'm saying this is...
They talked about, okay, we are empowering the youths. Now,
listen,
if we empower the youths...
Listen,
yes.
The reason I'm saying this is that in 2021, when 37 people were intercepted, we spoke to a family of 5, and they said one of their relatives in France has sent them $5,000 each. $5,000 each to try and go back way. $5,000 each, 5 of you. That's $25,000. Are you telling me they can't use that to do anything in the Gambia? I'm not having that. I'm sorry. I'm not having that. There's nothing for them.
$25,000? What about if you establish a business and you are not patronized? Your business fails.
You haven't even tried.
$5,000
You
fail.
have not even tried. You haven't even considered it.
Many people tried.
No,
at
but
some
those
point,
people...
at some point, I am in support of the youths. At some point, I am against it because it's dangerous.
No. Yeah.
But there are many things that are leading. Our governments are not... Some of them are not doing the right things.
What are the right things?
You understand?
What does that mean?
Let's talk about... if I talk about the right things, you know it better than me. You've been living in Africa and you've seen... You've seen
tell me what are...
The corruption level.
What does that mean?
What are they doing?
Okay, explain to me the scenario I've just given you. A family of 5 that we interviewed, and they said their family member living in France has sent them $5,000 each. Are you seriously sitting there and telling me that with $25,000 in the Gambia, you cannot establish a business? Are you seriously saying that?
One can
Mr.
definitely
Ade,
establish a
there
business,
are
but
people
that is just one of
businesses,
many
and
scenarios.
at the end of the time, they sold
That
their
will always
businesses
happen.
and they embarked on
We
Bagway.
know that, but what does that tell you?
I am not supporting
What does
Bagway,
that tell you?
but also you need to understand these people.
No,
you need
but
to look
you've
at
just said something. We once recorded an incident when a woman who had 3 businesses in the Gambia tried to go on this Bagway and drowned. She had 3 businesses
That's
in the
why I'm
Gambia. What
against
does that tell you?
Yeah.
I'm against it in that aspect.
It's not somebody
You
who
know?
is failing. Her businesses
Really,
were doing well.
I think the issue of Bagway needs to be looked at critically. I think we need to strike a balance as far as this is concerned. Others are going really the reason that they don't have any reason to go embark on this
I'll tell
Bagway.
you
That is
something.
really
I
obvious.
don't know
but
if-
there are certain
if
people,
whether
Mr. Ade,
you
who
try to
it's a must
sugarcoat
that
it
they
or not.
really
No, I
have
know.
to.
Whether,
Yeah,
I mean,
so we have to
Bagway-
strike a
but
balance.
the numbers,
No, Bagway
Yeah.
is
Gambia?
dangerous. It's dangerous, it's deadly. You understand?
it's not going to stop
don't,
anybody.
Don't even try it. But you
We've
cannot
been
stop
saying that for
anybody from
ages,
embarking
Balde.
on
Of course you
Bagway.
can't. You can't.
The youths are going to embark. As
of
far
course.
as things do not change, they will.
That's what I'm saying. It's not
That's
a matter
the
of
reality, that's
no
the
matter
truth.
how things look. When Jammeh was here, he was the excuse that people used. He's no longer here. He's no longer here. So, and yet the numbers are still going up. So, you know, people will always find an excuse. It's not a reason. It's an excuse.
That
And
is
so
what
that's
it
why I'm not
is.
having
Some
you
people
telling me,
can be
oh.
sent
But I think
$5,000, others cannot.
with more job, opportunities.
You think
for
those
the
people
young
go back where you think it's free? They all pay big money to
All
go.
right, now we are going on break. I mean, after the break, then we will continue the program. We'll be right back.
The future is now. With QCell's 5G network, experience speeds like never before with our new 5G Rocket Fixed Internet plan. Get speeds from 10 Mbps to 100 Mbps. Your 5G-enabled devices. Walk into QCell headquarters to get one of our 5G routers and experience the true feeling of 5G. Only with QCell. QCell brings you the future. Tech, innovation, incredible speed. The future is now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sunyabus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Thank Mr. Ade. Or was it the heated
QCell brings you the future with our ultimate bundles. Enjoy the best voice and data bundle plans in one package. Get unlimited data packages with flexible validity and enjoy what true internet feels like. Get 30 minutes of on-net and off-net calls with 5 gigabytes of data for just $350. Or get bigger bundle packages from 10 gigabytes to 20 gigabytes with over 100 on-net and off-net voice calls and enjoy the fastest internet speed in the Gambia. You can also buy 1-day, 3-day or even 7-day packages and enjoy unlimited data bundles with uncapped speeds. Just dial *343# today and experience the limitless capabilities of the QCell network. *343# should be your favorite code to dial now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, we innovate, others follow.
Step into the Espas Motors showroom for your luxurious name brand vehicle. Located along the Bertil Harding Highway, Espas Motors is the Gambia's authorized dealer for Chery, Kia, Ford, and now we bring you the new Peugeot model 3008 SUV. 18-inch alloy wheels, 216 inches high ground clearance, keyless entry system, start and stop button, rear parking assistance system with reverse camera, adaptive cruise control with speed limit, LED daytime running lights, front and side airbags, 8-inch HD touchscreen. Not to forget our exquisite Peugeot Landtrek double cabin pickup with 2.1-liter diesel engine, 6-speed manual transmission 4x4, hill descent control, LED daytime running lights. Espas Motors, the authorized dealer for Peugeot. Visit us today or call us on 35-2222 or 353-4444.
Looking for the
We're back. This is QTV This Morning, and after the newspaper review, like I said, the introduction of the program, we will be talking to Daniel Arap Moy, CGTN Africa reporter, The topic will be China-Africa cooperation on the Belt and Road Initiative. And in the studios with us is Daniel. You're welcome on the program.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Daniel, it's good to have you here. I mean, to talk about the roads and the Belt Initiative. There's a lot happening, and it's important to have someone who will take us through. But first, let's talk about the Belt and the Road Initiative, which is very significant. A layman might not understand what the Belt is, so it's important for you to take us through.
Howard, thank you very much for having me in your show this morning, and thanks to the management of QTV as well for giving us this platform to share a little bit of what the Belt and Road Initiative is all about. Of course, the Belt and Road Initiative to a layman is something that may not be well put or said, but it is an idea that President Xi Jinping came up with, a vision that he came up with in 2013, to have a sort of a world that is interconnected together, to have a world with a shared common vision, for prosperity and development. And this needed someone to come up with, because we've not had this since we were born, most of us. I mean, we didn't have a connectivity or a project that brings us together as a continent, as the global community. So President Xi Jinping came up with this idea that why don't we create an initiative that can bring us together, that can connect Europe, and Asia and Africa together. And we are seeing that happening now. And that is in form of construction of roads, bridges that can link us together as a people. And this is what we are seeing now happening. So that is basically what the Belt and Road Initiative is all about. Interconnectivity, bringing the people of the world together. To share that commonness as one people.
Well, interesting.
Yeah. Like you mentioned, this was initiated in 2013, and this year marks the 10th anniversary of the Road and Belt Initiative. How is this really celebrated annually?
Well, this year we are seeing the celebration taking place in Beijing by the host himself, President Xi Jinping. And what is amazing is that this year we've seen the number of countries that are willing to participate under the Belt and Road Initiative has really gone up. It's increased. Just yesterday I was reading 140 countries, the global community, 140 countries are represented in Beijing. And that to me speaks volume, that you have 140 countries that are all looking towards participating in this initiative that they know is going to bring out the best in their own particular countries. And a lot of people actually think when we speak about the Belt and Road Initiative, we're only talking about the African continent or the African people. That is not the case.
Well, that's the mental picture that most people have. When you talk about Africa, the Belt Road Initiative, we only think about Africa.
Yeah, but the Belt and Road Initiative is a global idea. It's a shared value for all the global community. So looking at 140 plus countries represented in Beijing under the leadership of President Xi Jinping is an amazing concept. It's an amazing occasion that they are coming together to think deeper and just like President Xi Jinping said, that they want to draw a new blueprint for high quality Belt and Road Initiative. What does that mean? That we want to take this further than where it has been. We want to make it better for everyone. So the celebration in Beijing tells us the importance of this project, that the world is slowly buying into the idea that we need connectivity, we need to move forward as a global community, because no one can develop alone. We need each other to be able to develop our countries, not just as individual nations. You need you as my brother, you need me from another country. I need you from the Gambia.
Absolutely.
For us to be able to move together. So I think the celebration is very significant, with 30 plus international organizations, NGOs that are also represented in Beijing. It speaks volume to me that slowly we are having progress in the making.
Yeah. Interesting. Yes, Julia, go ahead.
So this Belt and Road Initiative, one might just wonder, of course it was initiated in 2013, but does it really have a timeline? Like most projects will have a timeline and say it will elapse
When
at
it
this
will
particular...
feed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the projects based on the agreements that have been made, until the objective of the Belt and Road Initiative has come to fruition, it will still continue. So I'm not seeing the Belt and Road Initiative ending tomorrow. I'm not seeing a time frame that President Xi Jinping has put forward. I am seeing an open channel of development of the world global community, that until we have connected each other, because we still have that huge challenge, especially here in Africa, that it's very difficult for us to connect with one another in terms of infrastructure.
Yeah.
So
That's why the Africa Continental Free Trade Area is still not implemented.
exactly.
That
Yes.
disconnectivity.
Yeah. And for trade to flourish between African countries or between Africa, Asia, and Europe, we need that connectivity. And we are not seeing this happening just today. This is a long-term project, that will run for many years to come. As long as, and this is what I'm saying, as long as we embrace this benefit that comes out of the Belt and Road Initiative.
Yes.
Okay.
You visited the Upper River region to go and get a first-hand information as to what is happening there. So, I mean, what is, maybe you've had one or two engagement with the people there. From their reaction, what can you tell us?
Well, first of all, I need to say that that's an amazing highway that you guys have. I am actually grateful that the people in the Upper River region have had the opportunity or a blessing to have such a road infrastructure. I've visited quite a number of African countries, and one major element that I see, one major challenge that I see is infrastructure development, which is hindering the progress of many of our people across the continent. And seeing what just happened in Upper River region is an amazing thing. I drove through this highway and I was like, wow, this is wonderful, a project. And to a layman, or to someone who has not visited such a place, he or she may not be able to understand what a blessing such a highway provides to the local people. And I spoke to quite a number of people. And one thing that stood out for me, there was a woman that I interviewed. And this is what she told me, that previously, before this road was constructed, and the bridge itself that crosses from one end to the next, she told us that pregnant women used to struggle to cross over. And the reason is very simple, that a pregnant woman will not cross over to the next side without the boat getting filled, without the boat getting full of people, the number of passengers that are supposed to cross over. And I thought, this is a pregnant woman. She could be in labor anytime. And she can't cross over because other people have to come in.
Before.
And before.
You don't know the time these people are coming.
Exactly. So this woman tells me that now, with a smile on her face, that majority of women now can cross very fast because it's a bridge that has been constructed. So people can cross from this side to the northern part. An amazing project indeed. And how I wish many of our African brothers and sisters or countries could have the same benefits that comes with the Belt and Road Initiative to help us progress and grow. Nobody wants to live a poor life. No one. And I think this is the vision that President Xi Jinping is trying to communicate to us, that we don't only want to see Europe developing and Africa is lagging behind. We want to move together as a people of the global community.
Okay, Daniel, this initiative is really too good to be true, because under the initiative, under 10,000 kilometers of railways, 1,000 bridges, and of course almost 100 roads and more have been constructed. So this is really too good to be true. What contribution does the African continent have as far as the Belt and Road Initiative is concerned? is there any disadvantage for us? Because we've seen most of these deals or most of these initiatives, you see that, you know, they're really taking a lot from the African continent.
Exactly.
Is this one different?
And just to add on that, I mean, there's a lot of mixed feelings when it comes to China's contribution in Africa. Most of the time we'll say, okay, at the end of the time, China is going to take over Africa. So people say this thing a lot.
Yes. Indeed. Now, that is the misconception that we have when it comes to the question of the Belt and Road Initiative. And the people that say that are people who do not really understand what the Belt and Road Initiative is all about. I'll give you a very good example. Not too long ago, news was going around. I'll call it fake news because it turned out to be fake news. There was news going around in my country, Uganda, where I come from, that the government of China has taken over Entebbe International Airport.
Yeah.
Yes, this is the news that was going around, but this was not true.
I think I saw that.
I read that,
Yes,
yeah.
this is not true. That is the misconception that we have, in Africa especially. And President Xi Jinping just said this morning in his speech when he was addressing the people in Beijing. And this is what President Xi Jinping said. Let me see if I can find exactly the quote that he talked about BRI. This is his word. President Xi Jinping said that none of the achievements of the project simply fell into our laps or generated by anyone. They have been made possible by the governments, enterprises, and the people of the participating countries under the Belt and Road Initiative. It wasn't forced upon anyone. Governments are working together with the government of China to try to help us come together and build this initiative, build the connectivity. So it wasn't imposed upon us. Yes, people are saying that, but it's not true. Your government spoke to the government of China. My government did the same. And there was an agreement, there was a deal struck that we're going to have this, we're going to build this project. And I love the two projects that are here in the Gambia. The International Conference Center is an amazing facility. Yeah. That's an investment.
Gambians love that.
Yes, that's an investment that many of us will enjoy. The next generation will enjoy as well.
Sure.
So to answer your question, I mean, the saying that yes, there are challenges that comes with the Belt and Road Initiative, but that basically depends on the kind of deal that you've struck with China. But we've seen China being very soft to many of the African countries because we know we are developing countries and we need that development aid or development assistance. And we have a brother or sister that is willing to help.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about the opportunities lying ahead.
For the Gambia specifically. Yeah.
From the Gambia perspective. Right, I've had the opportunity to move a little bit within the city here. And I will be very frank with you, I've seen the Gambia, just like many other African countries, is still struggling with connectivity. Road infrastructure is still wanting. And so as a country, as Africa, we need to fill this gap through investment financing of key major areas like the road infrastructure, you know, like power generation. People are still complaining about power outages. And just not here, just not here. Nigeria, for instance, has challenges with power cuts. South Africa is struggling. And these are key areas that we need investment to go into. And if China is willing to give us that money, why not solve the question of power outages? Why not solve the question of our infrastructure connectivity? You know, why not solve now the biggest challenge that the world is facing? Why don't we solve the question of you know, climate resilience, which is actually now affecting power generation. Because of climate change, our water levels are receding. And that's the power cuts that we have because we're not able to generate enough electricity to support our industries. So if we can do that. But it's something that I want to share with you that among the 8 points that Xi Jinping brought out, let me read this to you, what he said. That we deeply realize that the Silk Road spirit of peace and cooperation, openness and inclusiveness, mutual learning and mutual benefit is most important source of strength for jointly building the Belt and Road Initiative. He's speaking about strength. Strength means us coming together, the world coming together with a joint effort to build this initiative that will in turn, benefit all of us as a country.
Yeah, so most people are, having two minds when it comes to the interest at the end of the time. The likes of Kenya, they are renegotiating their loan interest. Is it too high?
I would say no.
Okay.
Is it too high? No. We are looking at a new government that came in Kenya. The previous government was under President Uhuru Kenyatta, and he struck deals with the government of China for various investment opportunities. And when a new government comes on board, it doesn't mean that they will take what the previous government, had in place. A new government comes with new ideas, new challenges to deal with. So the government of President Ruto has come in, and they have their vision for the next 5 years as an elected government in place. So they have the free will to renegotiate any deals that they have with another government, either with the IMF or with the government of China. They have that leeway. Yeah. So it is upon the government of Kenya to see the needs of their people. The government of Kenya may have a different development agenda for their next 5 years. It may not be infrastructure. It may be something different, or agriculture per se. So there's always need to revise what you have as a government to suit in your development agenda. So yes, I don't think so.
Okay.
Yes, to answer your question.
All right. I think time is already against us.
Yep.
I mean, we have another
I think we have another 30 minutes.
Unless if you have anything to add to what we discussed.
Oh, yes. But yes, I think as Africa, this is what I would say that is very important for us, that we can actually try to invest more in. One thing is energy itself, as we said about. For Africa to industrialize, we need energy, to drive our industries. And how do we do that? We need financing for those investment projects that we have. So we need money. The IMF has been giving us funds with very stringent conditions that many of our African countries cannot afford. But now we have the new development bank that has come up under the BRICS, which gives African countries a leeway to go in and borrow money, not with any strings attached, that we can get that money, invest in our infrastructure to help us grow as a continent. So energy is very important. And we already have serious projects that China is dealing with. For example, in my country, we have one of the biggest hydro dams that has been constructed by the government of China. I tell you what, my country has no power outages because of that. So that's the benefit that some of the African countries who have benefited are, enjoying. So we have that. So energy is very important. The next one, climate change, as we said, it is affecting us as a continent. And unless we find finance to mitigate these effects, we will have a challenge. The Gambia, for instance, has agriculture as its mainstay. How does the government of Gambia invest more into the agricultural sector, to help improve the livelihoods of the local population? We have machinery that is coming from China that can help us. And they're pretty cheap, They can help us progress. Yes, other people may say, oh, no, this is anti-development. It is not, I'm telling you. It will help us as a people, to help us to grow from one stage to the next. And yes, so I think basically those are some of the critical areas that we can invest in as a continent. And we can get that finance. That finance is there. We just need the will of the people. But one thing that President Xi Jinping said just yesterday is that for this to happen, African leaders must take collective responsibility to push forward this agenda, to progress their people from one stage to the next. So we need to have that political will for our people, if our people are to progress, to grow from one stage to the next.
Yes, interesting. What does it take for you to be able to tap that finance for development? And if you tell us the way to tap that finance, is there a monitoring mechanism that you can put in place to make sure there is no corruption going on, and the finances are put into the use thereof.
True. Right now, the best source of finance for African countries is the government of China. They're willing to give us that money. Now, to answer your question, will it be put to the best use? Now, that is where the problem comes. Yes. And now that comes back to the central government of particular African countries, that how do you then put this money where it's supposed to be?
True.
You know, those mechanisms are supposed to be set up by the borrowing country, where these projects are going to be implemented. The government must put in measures to check how this money is being used. You know, Parliament has to be involved in how these monies are disbursed. You know, there must be oversight, and the best institution in the Gambia, for instance, is the Parliament itself. So Parliament has to be very proactive to follow up these monies. That has it gone to where we have allocated these funds? You know, if not, why hasn't it gone to the respective projects that we assigned this money to go? So that is the Parliament. But most importantly also, the citizens of countries in Africa must rise up to follow up key projects that their governments are running. Because remember, these are taxpayers' money that you will have to pay back at some point in life. So we need to be proactive, follow up with these projects. We need to ask questions that have we fulfilled this? Where has this money gone?
That's where the media comes from.
Exactly.
Comes to play.
Exactly.
You know?
And that is a wonderful job that you guys are doing here in the Gambia, I must say. That when we speak about it, when you speak about it every day, people get to become aware. People get aware of their environment, what projects are going on. But if we as the media don't highlight this, then we are actually failing in our job to educate our people about projects, to tell people the truth that this is what it is. These politicians will say anything, and they will deny it that I didn't say this.
Definitely.
That's their job.
We've seen a lot of that. So finally, before we go, what do you have finally?
Well, what I must say is that I do appreciate what our African governments are trying to do, and the collaboration that we're having between Africa, particularly. I speak about Africa because I'm an African, indeed, and the collaboration that Africa is having with China itself, that if we really take this as a continent with some seriousness, you know, if we embrace the Belt and Road Initiative and carry it forward for the right reason, Africa will become a continent of greatness. It is already a continent of greatness. The resources are here. Everybody is looking up to Africa today because of the greatness that we have, the resource, the abundant resource that we have. So if we put this together and work together as a continent, we will prosper and we will smile. I keep on telling my friends that we don't need to go to the West. Why are our brothers and sisters dying, crossing the ocean, you know, going to the West? It's because they want to see tall buildings. They want to see good infrastructure. They want to participate under this. But if we have the ability to create this infrastructure here at home,
no need to go.
I will live in Zambia for the rest of my life. I will live in Kenya, live in Uganda for the rest of my life, because our continent is very beautiful. The resource base is rich. So my call to Africa is that let's work together. Let's work together with governments like China that are willing to support us for us to move to the next level. Let's have trains crisscrossing, you know, from the Gambia next to Senegal, you know, across this beautiful continent of ours for the betterment of our people and the world at large.
Well, it's a collective responsibility. Everybody should come into play. In fact, I talked about, I always talk about the Free Africa movement of goods and people. We are finding it very difficult, although we talk about it, and you know, they've signed a lot of documents when it comes to that. But it's difficult to move about, even in Senegal. Even to go to Senegal, it's difficult. So I think it's a collective responsibility. It's, everybody should come into play when it comes to this. Yes, thank you very much, Daniel. Arab Moiv is CGTN Africa reporter for coming on this.
Thank you too very
We
much for hosting me.
appreciate this.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Viewers, will take a short break. After the break, then we'll talk to Anis Fall and Amadou Jallo, and we'll take a look at Worldwide Kin Day. We'll be right back.
Looking for the perfect place to promote your product or place your advert? Look no further than QTV. We are the premier destination for businesses looking to connect with Gambian audiences and beyond. At QTV, we offer a variety of advertising solutions to suit your needs and budget. With our diverse range of programming, you can be sure that your ad will reach a broad and engaged audience. From our popular news broadcast to our exciting music and entertainment programming, QTV has something for everyone. QTV, the premier destination for advertising in the Gambia. Contact us today and let us help you reach your audience. Banking the smart way with the new Aji Bank mobile app. Transfer money to any bank account in the Gambia. Top up airtime for all networks. Pay utility bills. Check your account balance and view mini statements. Request for ATM cards. Request for checkbooks and more in a single touch. So, do your banking in a smart way. Do your banking now with Aji Bank mobile app. Every time is banking time. Aji Bank, your investment partner. You asked for it, and QCell is giving it to you with our new and improved Sunyu Bundle Mega Promo. Now you can get more data at cheaper prices. Buy any of our bundle packages and enjoy massive discounts. Dial *303# and enjoy browsing on the network with the biggest coverage. Buy a 20 megabytes data bundle for as low as $7 and 50 bottles today, or purchase bigger bundles up to 20 gigabytes. Yes, that's right, 20 gigabytes of data at your fingertips. With our mega promo bundles, you can browse more, chat longer, and stay connected on the go, anytime, anywhere. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell. We innovate. Orders follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Technology has always been at the forefront of our lives, and the way we use it has evolved drastically over the years. With the advent of 5G internet, we are entering a new era of technological innovation that promises to transform the way we live, work, and play. 5G internet is capable of providing data speeds up to 100 times faster than 4G, making it the ideal solution for streaming high-quality videos, playing online games, and downloading large files on the go. 5G internet is already transforming cities across the globe, powering smart cities, self-driving cars, and virtual reality experiences that were once thought impossible. 5G internet is also paving the way for Internet of Things, allowing for seamless connectivity between devices and the creation of a truly connected world. For the first time in the Gambia, QCell is bringing tomorrow's technology to you today with the launch of QCell 5G Internet. Get ready to experience the out-of-this-world wonders of QCell's 5G Internet. For more information, call 111. QCell. We innovate, others follow.
We are back, and this is QTV This Morning. And now onto the last segment of the program. Let's talk about the Worldwide Kin Day. And we have Hannes Fall and Amadou Jallo in the, on the platform, to discuss this, the importance and the commemoration of the Worldwide Kin Day. On that note, Julde, we have Amadou and Mr. Fall. Amadou, good morning, sir.
Hello, good morning. Good morning, all of you. How are you?
Yeah, ñu ngi laa dalal, Mr. Fall.
Yes, good morning. Man tamit maa ngi leen a gërëm di leen sant si dalal boo leen ñu dalal. Man maay Anes Assis Fall wala Chende Fall. Yes, we are from Govi. yes.
dëgg la tey dañ ñëwoon pour ñu waxtaan mooy bés bi. bés buñ celebrate noonu. mooy World Wide Cane Day. ñu bëri mun nañoo dégg loolu waaye duñ xam lan mooy njëriñ bi. so dañ bëggoon rek ngeen. waa take you through si njëriñu World Wide Cane Day.
well World Wide Cane Day bi World Wide Cane Safety Day bi. soo déggee ñu ko wax. dafa fekk loo xam ne la banta bu weex bu ñu dee amee. boo gis su nekk silmaxa o nga ñàkk sa bët o nga am low vision. so da ngaa gis ne bés boobu noonu bés la boo xam ne 1964 United Nations ñoo ko indi woon long time ago boo xam ne soo ñàkkee sa bët pour nga nekk gën a am safety ak nga mun a yóbbu sa boppa foo bëgg a dem. man bi wax yéen nii man juddu ma woon silmaxa. man maa ngi lu suma size in the age of 18 years. daf ma dab. because some of us lu xew mooy dañ ko dee judduwaale waaye ñeneen yi dañ fa leen dee dab so man nag daf ma dab dama amoon feebar bu ñoo ooyee measles. so mu amee measles ne just time boobu maa ngi just 18 years old maa ngi just jeexal school. and then from there si laa lu suma sight. moo nekk ni nekk ma di gis dara amee totally blind. waaye noonu de les so bu ma loolu dalee dama doon demee noonu rek. waaye every time dama dee feel guilty in sense ne dama dee nekk di tampongante nit ñi di am some obstacle because that time I was a bit feeling complex pour doxee cane bi. waaye dem na ba ci kanam ma gis ne cane bi moo maa gën a def in a safety way because maa ngi dëkkoon man waa Banjul la woon waa unfortunately after ma transfer ñëw Kombo. waaye dama gis ne driver yi léegi-léegi dañ ma dee nekk di dive so ma gis ne this is not safe for me.
safe
waaw so li ma def mooy ma doon di orientate ma ñu ngi ko orientation and mobility to use this white cane bi moo laa gën a def in a safety way because soo ma gisee maay ñëw rek di nga xam ne kii dafa am both problème so man moom laa dee jël di mobilisation boppa di dem ak moom fu ma bugg a dem dinaa dem fii ba anywhere in the world or anywhere in the town su ma buggee dem rek dinaa dem so cane bi nag moom any blind boo xam ne man li ma advice ma moromi blind yi ñu ko dee use nonetheless because some of us cane bi dafa seer pour am ko waaye ñu bëri liñ ko dee amee mooy nañ some of them dañ dee jël banta bi wala et waaye da ngaa gis ne boobu du dee mun a rafet pour nga yóbbuwaale ko si ay moto wala ay place yoo xam ne gis nga fu ma toog nii
waaye yaa ngi ko lem
teg ko so da ngaa gis ne boobu dafaa gën a portable pour man pour ma mun koo use da ngaa gis ne nii lañ dee lii mooy njëriñu white cane.
Okay. Wow. All right, Mr. Jallow. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. jërëjëf Bande. ñu nuyuwaatee bu baax a baax QTV. xam naa ne man nekkuma fi gan.
non moom kay moom min na fi.
di la nuyu bu baax a baax comme Mr. Fall nu mu ko waxee World Wide Cane Day wala World Wide Safety Day Cane Day. parce que lu ko waral mooy et bu weex bi. dafa nekk et boo xam ne et bu important la. parce que foofu ngay xamee ne kii silmaxa la. foofu ngay xamee ne kii dafa am problème yi bët. driver bi foofu la war a xamee ne kii dafa war a jàll tali. comme silmaxa bi. su fekkee ne tey mu ngi amee et bu weex bi driver yi war nañoo am ak yelleef si ñoom parce que ñoom ñun et bi mooy suñu bët. foofu la ñuy lambaatoo. foofu la ñuy def lu ne. to da ngay gis ne loolu su xapu ne da ngay gis ne lu doy waar la parce que in 1997 amoon nañ suñ benn collègue yi nga xam ne buñ célébrité World Wide Cane Day ba pare ñuy advice driver yi ñu wax ak borom cycle si borom rider yi waaye buñ demee ba pare bés bi juróomi waxtu kooku mu ngi ñibbi Banjul jur teg si la ko moto fil si la ooyee boromam
te si celebration boobu ngeen
the very day the very 15th of October mu doon loo xam ne lu gannaaw la woon si ñun ba pare dafa dañ amoon choc parce que kooku tamit nekkoon na koo xam ne ku sawaroon la ci liggéey bi so loolu moo tax naa aide bi mboolem koo xam ne gis nga ne silmaxa bi mu ngi ko yore war ngaa mun a xam ne kii dafa bugg a jàll tali parce que loolu moo tax ñu ngi am fukki branche loolu moo tax at bu nekk dañuy dem si benn tundu wala si benn banxaas ñu dem célébrer ko foofu noonu driver yi xool dem kati marché yi dawalkati bicycle yi parce que am na bicycle yi nga xam ne amuñ bel parce que tey silmaxa bi su fekkee ne tey mu ngee dox driver bi ñëw ba si ko mu ne ko pop te yow kooku du dee gis soo ko bettee rek mun naa tiital te su tiitee moom mun naa dugga si pax te su duggee si pax tamit mun naa gaañu xam nga loolu yëpp nekk na loo xam ne some of the difficulties yi nga xam ne silmaxa yi ñu ngi koy fiis bande waaw.
So what about the issue of cane and the importance of the cane? But that is not just enough. Part of the celebration, and especially for the theme of this year, is about inclusivity and to ensure that people with disability, you cater for and you include them in whatever that people are doing. As far as inclusivity is concerned in this country, what are some of the issues? Boo xam ne loolu ngeen raise this year and ngeen foog ne government bi war na leen dooleel si loolu.
waaw si wax boobu noonu ñun gis nga bu ñoo maaj because suñ kenn bi nii pour ñu am ko daf di difficult pour ñun and most of them fi ñu ko dee amee mooy philanthropies yi o donors yi te ñu ngi gis ni àdduna bi léegi is donor fatigue yaa ngi gis ne ñun suñ bagage yu bëri ñuy use is from Europe léegi nag government bi nag daf ñu dee gestu waaye fi moo gestoo mostly mooy na suñ teachers yi yow teachers yu bëri am na visual impaired teacher waaye suñ materials yi da ngaa gis ne dafa jafe woon pour ñu am ko waaye this time nonetheless ministre bi mooy Fatou Kinte suñ line ministry bi ñëwoon na ba donate to 199 canes boo xam ne ñun yàgg nañ di mbébét because suñ members yi man bi waxee nii maay branch chairman of branch development chairman bi ñu ngi am 10 branches all over Gambia so da ngaa gis ne su fekkee ne dañ bëgg a celebrate banta bi white cane bi dañ ko dee decentralize because du fiyaa rek ñu def ko si environment bi ba pare dafa géej nañoo def march pass always def march pass bi daf dee am daa ak AGM annual general meeting yi dee am so si biir AGM boobu noonu foofu lañ dee mën a wax suñ ups and downs suñ obstacles yi suñ gains yi suñ luñ soxla mostly pour mu nekk transparency because ñun most of us lu ñoo dawale mooy ñun charity organisation lañ so da ngaa gis ne ñun dañ dee always di ut doono te da ngaa gis ne léegi-léegi government daf ñu daan def subvention waaye subvention bi daf dee ñëw nag waaye benn la dee nekka so su dul loolu da ngaa gis ne project si di mun a dox ba pare organisation bi mu ngi dox ak project so suñ amutee project su bari da ngaa gis ne dafa suñ activité si du mun a demee ni mu war a demee so this year li ñu xew mooy dañ amoon benn just 6 months project moo xam ne foofu lañ tapé fond boo xam ne government bi dëgga kenn bi rek dañuy joxuñu any subvention o joxuñu any fond boo xam ne mun nañoo célébrer day bi so si biir loolu nag foofu lañ jéem a seet ni ñoo mun a def ñu def just low key march pass celebration bii ni pour wane bési white cane waaye unfortunately government bi beetañu nag indi ñu 199 cane ñu ne naa gërëm loolu si government yi Adama Barrow da nga gis ne we just hope for the best and we see how best people could able to help more pour ñu mun a doxal suñ activities ak suñ programmes yi waaw
dëgg la am na solo
waaw
Mr Jallow ba léegi rek bëggoon nañ ñu waxtaan tuuti comme da ngeen dee mun a engage driver itam comme ñu mun a understand ki nga xam ne gis nañ ko mu ngi amee cane bi because amoon na time gisoon naa ko on television yaaga na nag foog naa early 2000 yi la ñu ngi doon sensitise driver yi pour affaire yi cane si waaye loolu man gëj naa koo gis xaw ma ndax loolu yéen a ngi koo def or do you have the intention pour ngeen def ko
waaw jërëjëf Bande ni nga laajte is a very interesting question loolu dañ ko dee def because normally dañ dee am radios programme te foofu la ñuy waxtaan ak driver yi sometimes sax dama dee indi façon programme boobu noonu ci radio bi fii parce que maa ngi am programme bu tudda xew-xewi jamono boobu dafa focus si lu bari dafa laa si issues yu bare yoo xam ne dama ko dee laal waaye nag waxtaan na ci li nga xam ne mooy ay driver yu bari ci wàllu cane bi ak diggante ñoom ak silmaxa yi parce que am na ñoo xam ne dañ dee yàkkamti pour ñu ngi suñ silmaxa bi su mooy jàlla rek mun nañu ñu dama sa banta bi te xam nga Fall wax na la ne cane si dafa seer te waxtaanoon na ci ay driver yu bare ci xew-xewi jamono ci li nga xam ne lu aju si diggante silmaxa yi ak driver yi si dem ak dëkk bi rawatina ñi nga xam ne ñuy dawal ay rider because am nga déggul léegi da nga dee gis rider sooy jàll sax da ngay gis ñoom dañ dee force ñu daw te suñ dawee silmaxa bi moom noppa la am moom noppa foofu la di dégloo te su fekkee ne ñu force nañ seen rider yi machine bi am na nu mu shawtee rek silmaxa bi mun naa confuse te su confuse leneen mun naa happen gis nga so loolu moo tax always ñun dañ dee wax ak driver yi pour ni nga xam ne pour ñu war a bàyyi xel diggante ñoom ak silmaxa yi parce que léegoo-léeg dama dee indi topic boobu noonu di waxtaan although that's why driver yi ba dañ dee call am na ñi nga xam ne ay silmaxa tamit dañ dee call am na ñi nga xam ne ñu dee dem tamit dem ak dikka bi dañ dee call di appreciate di waxtaan ak driver yi loolu dañ ko dee def parce que am na yeneen programmes yi nga xam ne tamit ay disability programme ñu ngi koy def si yeneen radio station yi
am balale ma si yokkat di Amadou di wax nii man bi waxayen nii dama dee am problème boobu ak drivers yi because this generation we are right now driver yu bëri young drivers lañ léegi man dama dee man blind bu dee mobilize suma boppal bu ne dama dee wóor man dama dee dem fu nekka waaye da ngaa gis ne léegi-léegi da ngaa gis koy dawal am nañu driver yu am understanding di moment du trafic bu nekk nga mun a block stop pour nga jaala comme high traffic yi nii dama dee ut somebody break la ne la ma ne doo ma baalal ma jaala fii waaye some people they feel reluctant foog ne xina dang ne naa ñaan sara so dam dee feel so embarrassed dama leen wane gis nga man ñaanuma la dama doon ñaan pour jaala fii rek waaye ñeneen nii dama dee sacrifice comme loo trafic yi nii dama dee ekkati banta bi because loolu lañ la train so ekkatee banta bi obviously driver bi su la gisee nga ekkati banta bi dina war a ne xam ne kii dafa bëgg a jaala so su dawal nga dégg mu ne piip yow di nga xam ne taxaw na nga try nga jaala waaye da ngaa gis ne sooy jaala rek am na keneen ku ñëw wi roos so yow soo baa taxee rek mu pet la ñun am nañ suñ gën si suñ membre yi ndeysaan yàlla ko yàlla yërëm te ñëw ñu ko woowee Moussa Mbaye suñ PRO la woon mu ngi dee jos bu yàggut nii da muy gaañu yàlla ko yàlla yërëm te ñëw bicycle mus na ko tampon si loolu kii mu ngi ko mee mu jaala bicycle bi ñëw rek daal si ko am waaw soo si naaw ñu ngi advocate ba pare ñu ngi explain driver yi pour ñu mun di ñu bàyyi xel because ñun tamit family man lañ dañ am jabar am doom dañoo uti suñ dépassé dañoo uti am soxla yu ñoo dem defi ji some of us we are working some of us dégg la ñuy saraxtu génnuñ leen waaye soo gisee ñu def loolu yëpp amuñ moo tax ñuy dem di ko ut so when they see us trying to maneuver the traffic ne ñu dee may ñu romba ñu dem toppatoo suñ soxla
dëgg la
waaw
dëgg la
waaw I think it's important for people also to show empathy and sympathy tamit sometimes disability is not inability we've seen that is really evident for the fact ne yow yàlla may na la ne yow yaa ngi gis taxut ne yow nga gën koo xam ne nekkul di gis so I think people should really pay attention to that and be cautious ñu am di conscience ne ok kii dëgg la yàlla daf ko gàllankoor li waaye taxut ne moom man maa ko gën wala something else we are all human beings and that stereotype I think ne loolu ak discrimination bi it's so much in this country
ba pare you have to understand xam nga rek comme sometimes we need to compensate each other in the society xam nga we need each other in the society tey da ngaa gis Amadou dafa ñëw on radio you know dafa play on the radio dafa def programme yu am solo am na ñi nga xam ne ñu ngi toog fenn Amadou rek la gaay di xaar pour mu ñëw mu def programme am bi ñu déglu ko understand so I mean dafa mel ni rek we need to compensate each other dafa bëggoon a xam kéen bi soo ko jënda tey Gambia fi ñaata lañ dee jaay kii
dafa depend si rate of the foreign currency dina dem almost $3,000 or 2,500 or 2,000 30 pounds it can loolu la moo cost RMB in England
kon seer na
waaw 30 pounds loolu la moo cost because man dama am suma friend man amee carpet weaver dama dee liggéey carpet waaw dama dee carpet comme doomaat yi nii table mat dama ko dee liggéey tubaab bu ma ko jàngal man seen QTV bi nekku ne dama advertise suma ba pare advertise la bokka nag
moom si nga bokka di
waaw soo demee GCCI seen logo bi we make 2 doomaat moo xam ne seen logo bi la def naa fa GCCI Gambia Chamber of Commerce di binda naa ko draw naa ko ba pare génne ko leen QTV sax the same thing seen marketing place bi su fekkee ne you want to test me dinaa su ma amee seen logo dinaa ko draw ba pare génne ko indil leen ko ngeen gis ko ne this
Why definitely man Mr. Fall. I mean, yo yang nyo
I'm
one
impressed.
Cayman.
Yes.
Legi, how do you make that? Ñun lolu mom bugon nañ ko.
How do I make it
Wow.
is one gis nga saku yu njëkk yi saku maalo yu njëkk yi waxuma yu nylon yi amee nii de yu njëkk yi ñu daan def gerte yi
comme saku pompiteer yi.
waaw du saku actually similar like waaye saku pompiteer pax bi dafa rëy waaye similar like boobu pax bi dafa sew boobu lañ dee def gerte comme ñu doo wax 100 kilos saku yooyu
waaw dégg naa 100 kilos
waaw man yu ñu daan use daf daan jógee Angleterre waaye try naa ba di ko am si local market yi luumo yee yooyu pour subsidize ko parce que doo mun a am every time muy jógee Europe so tubaab bi ma leen a wax ni moom moo ñu daan jàngal so li ma dee def mooy dama dee draw object any type of object because man dama daan gis so bu ma lusee suma side bi so li ma daan gis loolu laa jéem a try pour emphasize di ko def ak suma xel ñu ne bët pour xool la waaye xel mooy nit so li maa def mooy comme yow somebody like you ku dee gis nii danga maa drawal any object man maa laa wax ne drawal ma lii not object boo xam ne dafa complicate comme bari ay ruxa yu sew waaw just simple object boo xam ne dinaa ko mun a génne so dinaa use kii mu génneel ma ko just a line one line so line boobu noonu su ko génnee rek ko olof Njaay dem de wax lamba daj gis gënu koo óor so the moment maa koo laal rek I could able to tell you fii kola bi laa fi bugg a def fii kola bi laa fi bugg a def what I'll do is dama ut siso wala dama am kota dama jël somebody else kota bi moom man maa koo teg si table bi di ko dog strip comme piece bi di ko dog strip bu ma soxla to the size waaw so su ma ko dogee ba pare dama amee something like a hook bu mel ni comme os waaye du os de it's a big hook dama fàtte pour indi waale ko pour démontrer won la ko so moom laa dee jël di ko dugal di génnee di ko dugal di génnee understand nga li ma miin si dugal di waaw su ma ko dugalee fu ma ko dugalee foofu laa ko génnee waat noonu laa def ba saako bi yëpp fees any object bu ma bugga any color bu ma like I could able to put it waaw comme table cloth bii nii it depends lu ma bugg a def rek naa GCCI li ma leen jaay 1 meter and a half loolu laa leen jaay doomaat ma doro fa seen logo bi seen kola bi seen image bi yëpp laa fa def waaw ba pare jaay leen ko
waaw yow uli woot na pour ñu ñëw ñu seet si la
absolutely
ñu ngi am art gallery si school bi if you just want to know what I'm saying when you come to the school waaw go bi waaw si art gallery bi boobu ma ngi ko fa amee man maa suma beneen sister bu ñoo ooyee Jojo am na suma yeneen morom tamit yu ma train waaye ñu ñoo dee gën a active si art gallery boobu noonu so anything lu nit soxla rek soo ñëwee ba ma ko wax ma def ko ñu déggoo si kaddu rek amul benn problème
thank you yes exactly I think léegi programme bi dañ ko tëj léegi thank you very much Mr. Anis Fall and Amadou Jallow for coming on the
waaw ba pare nga baalal ma nag bëggoon naa yokk gis nga chain bi ñoo use nii sooy doxaa moom dañ la dee train dafa war a nekk the size of your body warut a ëpp si size of your body comme man suma jëma bi nii suma structure pour suma dox pour bu ma la obstruct bu ma obstruct keneen so da ngaa gis ne moo tax nga ko dee feeding left right center it's just like a sweeper like
dama dee dégg noise bu mu dee
tap waaw gisuloo bi dafa amee karkar comme rôle su ma dox si place bu rata moom dama koo bàyyi rek mu ko def nii pour anything obstacle bu nekk suma kanam muy xeer muy pax muy anything dama nekk on safe waaye su fekkee ne si rough place moo tax ñu ko def tap da ngaa gis left center right
dama ko dee dégg waaw
so this is the way you work with Ken but you cannot work nga ko sànni ni di ko sànni da ngaa disturb puy ñëw
dégg la
so loolu yëpp si training bi la bokk
thank you Fall thank you very much well viewers Julde lii lañ am ba ëllëg incha allah dinañ fi del si ñu indil leen yeneen programme jërë ngeen jëf
jërëjëf
kontaan nañ
ñu ngi kontaan bu baax a waa Security bi
oh okay all right